Coach D Brown, former major leaguer, former big leaguer, and first round pick with the Kansas City Royals. Oh, rough day already, right? That's right. Now listen, I want to say what's up to everybody listening in. All right, if you are going to be listening to the replay, and if you don't see this red button up in the top left corner, that means you are listening to the replay. So give me a little hashtag replay and tell me where you're getting from. All right, so I'm going to say what's up and just let you know tomorrow I have a special guest coming on. Just had a great conversation. My boy Karan Walker, he was a former professional baseball player with the Royals, who is now currently a Chicago Cubs scout. All right, he will be on. He also runs a travel program himself up admitted, so he will be on tomorrow. All right, you get this little knowledge, talk a little scouting. It's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit today, and then we could go a little further. When we have the conversations tomorrow. All right, so join me tomorrow, 3:00 Central Time. I'm gonna have my boy Karan Walker, who's a Chicago Cubs scout, former professional baseball player, and he runs a travel program, travel baseball program. All right, so he kind of hits all youth baseball all the way through the amateur side of scouting, and he's a former professional baseball player. So we just had a great conversation, and I want to kind of piggyback off of a little something that we were talking about earlier, and just kind of share our conversation we had, and I'm adding on to the conversation that we had earlier with my message today. And so let me give my shout outs to people listening in. Let me say what's up, Mr. Poitras out in New York. What's up, Corey? What's going on, big dog? I don't know, you was out here last weekend or this weekend coming up. I know you were saying you was coming out here, family. My bad if I missed you. I'm sorry. All right, shout out to ATL. Sega, Louisiana, what's up? Keish, what's going on out there in Dallas, out in Garland area? Julie, what's going on? All right, make sure I hit everybody else up. All right, listen. All right, so I want to just talk about this conversation I had, all right? And I was just talking about from high school prospects when it comes to the, basically in the next 2 months, and we are, my bad, baby, my bad. I know you was out here, my bad, big dog. I'm sorry I missed you. I was out here with my teams, man, a different part of the area. So next time you're out here from Atlanta, or we out there, we got to connect, okay? So my bad on that, all right? But so I want to, have this conversation, man. I want to dig deep into high school prospects that are getting scouted, okay? This is I was having this conversation with a scout. My boy is coming on tomorrow, and I talked about different topics and different issues that each part of the country, the stigma, okay, or what scouts feel like when it comes to certain prospects from certain areas, okay? So in the next 2 months or so, kids' lives will be changed. There will be first round, there will be draft picks out there for people from college and high school. And I'm going to talk about high school prospects right now, but it can also go for college prospects also too. But we, right now, the scouts are out here on the grind. They're evaluating these players and they're just kind of checking the boxes, dotting and crossing the T's and dotting the I's from, the last year or two of the scouting that they've been doing on particular players, right? So right now, behind the scenes, scouts are kind of putting in their names and putting into, their higher ups who they believe can play and help this team out, help the major league team out in X amount of years, okay? So, if you are draft eligible this June, right, your name has already been submitted. I'm saying right now the scouts that if you're a high round guy, you got higher level scouts coming in and checking you out. Some GMs, you got, cross checkers, you have national scouting directors. It's a chain of command, all right? Especially the higher the round pick you are, the higher the people come. I'm saying? GMs all the way down to national directors to cross checkers. To the area scouts already put your information in already, okay? If you're a guy that's getting drafted and you may not be so high, okay? When I mean by so high, you may be, and don't quote me, my man Karan could tell you a little bit more about it, but I'm just saying anywhere 7th, 8th round or lower, all right? The area scout guy is going to be that guy that's going to be a heavy decision maker when it comes to you getting drafted and how much money you receive. Okay, so if you are any good, trust me, from the time I was a sophomore on, the scouts was around. Okay, and by the time my senior year, I knew all the area scouts. They were my boys, and it got to be a point, and I'm just telling you how it is. And I guess I could really talk about this in the future about the scouting and the different orders. And I know my man Caleb Johnson talked about this. He was talking about independent ball, but he kind of gave a little breakdown of the scouting and, each level that there is. Okay. But from the time of my sophomore year, the area scouts was heavy on me, and I started learning them and knowing them. And it's just funny, man. By the senior year, you have a good idea of, who really likes you, who's out there, and you develop a relationship with these scouts. You really do. Like I got drafted by the Royals, and shout out to my boy Ray Jackson. Like, I've known him since I was a sophomore in high school, right? Going into my junior year, and we became real friends. And I think that the Royals used his relationship with my family, and it's a reason why we got drafted. I got drafted by the Royals, and good, bad, and indifferent. It could be a plus, and also could be a minus, right? So they feel like, hey, you're so close to this family that we could kind of take them and where they want and pay what they want to pay you. And, because you got such a great relationship, it goes like it's okay. But nah, it didn't work like that for me personally. But that's just how this stuff goes. Okay. And, the higher you go, basically the area scout, my boy was my friend, but his decision wasn't in his hands no more. You know what I'm saying? With the more money that you spend, the higher up they go. So when you got GMs sitting down in your house or national directors, who's over the whole scouting department of your teams, them are the two highest you can go. All right, you got GMs and you got national scouting directors. Okay, them are the two highest you can go when it comes to the amateur side of baseball, when it comes to draft process. Okay, and I've had I think in my time back in the day, and it was a long time ago, but I had about 4 or 5, GMs sit in my house, and I had countless scouting directors that came and watched me play. Now the area scouts, again, I had 20 plus of them. I knew all the area dudes. They were all around, and they were great people. It was great times. Okay, but I want to dig a little deeper and talk about the prospects, the problems that they have when they are in different areas, and have different problems. The stigma. Okay, so I have friends who are scouts in the North, who coach in the North, who come from the North. And now that me being in the South, I have scout friends here in the South, guys that come from the South, who coach in the South. And I hear, what I'm saying, the differences of opinions of what different organizations, how they feel about, I already had my inkling and my feeling of, what they felt about, different players on the West, East Coast, up North, down South. Right. So I'm just going to kind of give a little up North and down South. All right. Down South can go from, Florida all the way over to Southern California. Okay. I'm lumping the weather and the type of ball, and, from the, Colorado area over to up all the way up to Maine, in that area, Midwest over up to up North, and, basically Maryland and all up. I'm just lumping you guys in. All right. You the up North. Okay. I'm just kind of giving you a little segment of the country. I'm breaking it down. I ain't talking Midwest, East Coast, West. I'm just talking about up North and down South. And you guys are just going to be lumped in. You guys know what I'm talking about here. Right. So, I want to talk about some of the advantages and disadvantages, what the scouts look for when a high school prospect, when it comes to, or college prospect, when it comes to the area that you are playing in. Okay. And now this is my opinion, but it's also a lot of fact into what I'm saying. Okay. So, because I don't want to say like everybody believes this, and then my word is, I have hardcore facts on this, but I've talked to enough people to form, my view on this. Okay. So when you are a high school prospect, okay, and let's just say we're going to start with the North. Okay. And I was just having a little conversation earlier, okay, about this, and this what made me brought up this topic. When you're in the North, you're already at a disadvantage. They feel like, when I say they, meaning scouts, okay, when you, in the grand scheme of things, because they always feel like, one, you don't play as much baseball than you do down South, mainly, and it's true, because of the weather, right? I know right now my high school team will if I'm not mistaken, they are just starting to play their games now. Okay. And a lot of times the first, I remember 2 out of my 4 years in high school, the first game was almost the first day we went outside. I want to say at least 2 out of my 4 years in high school, as far as I can remember, we might have had one practice outside, but our first games outside was our first day outside. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even practice. Everything's been in the gym, right? It was still snow on the outskirts of the field. All right. I remember vividly those times. It's very rare that we had a whole lot of time to practice out on the field. Okay. So, you know, we averaged anywhere from up north, you average anywhere from about 20 to 20. You know, I made it to the state championship 2 years out of my 4 years, and we played a total of 27 games. You know what I'm saying? Playing, and we went from the beginning of the season all the way to the state championship and played 27 games. Okay. And then we, you know, play a little Legion ball in the summer. So we will average anywhere from about 50 games a year. Okay. If you play hardcore. Now I know they got 4 baseball and travel ball teams, and they're getting their work in. They're playing a lot. But I'm just talking about on a high school, an average high school back in the day season was about, you know, 20 to 25 games, and then an additional 30 games or so with Legion ball. All right. That was a typical season. So when the scouts, it's a plus and a minus when it comes to that. So the scouts, they will look at you and say, listen, all right, he's up north. He may have the size. He may throw hard. He may hit the ball out the park. He may be an athlete. He can run and all that, but he's not playing a whole lot of baseball. Okay, so the IQ may be there or it may not be there. Okay, but he's still considered raw because of the overall amount of ball that he's playing. Okay, so they automatically put that in as a negative, you know what I'm saying? But they also may say, listen, okay, like my high school teammate, okay, he was 6'4", 220-some pounds, and he would throw, I think he was topping out maybe 88 to 90, right, in high school. But they saw the frame, and they know that, okay, this kid is throwing hard for New York up there at that time, but, you know, get him down south in the warm weather on a throwing program, he may be throwing X, Y, Z, and that's exactly what happened. And a year or so later, he got in that heat down in Florida, and they trained him, boom, boom, boom. He went from topping out at 90 in high school to pumping up to all the way up to 94, 95, almost within a year and a half time. Why? Because he's in the cold. He ain't on no real throwing program, and he worked hard, but he wasn't, you know, the training wasn't there at that time, right? So he's just using his straight talent and working hard, but the weather is permitting him. He can't get, you know, he's thinking you know, at that time, I didn't know no better, you know what I'm saying, about stretching out and all that type of stuff. And what I mean by stretching out, meaning like being able to throw all the time outside and really get that good long toss in and really, you know, get everything they got out of that arm. So he went from 90 to about 94, 95 within a year, just being in warm weather consistently. Okay. So, and also what hurts another player but being up north, say myself, right? I remember when my agent at the time, well, he was trying to be my agent, he came up to see me play. And we just end up playing the worst team that he could come see me play. And I know in his mind, he probably viewed like all the baseball over here. Like we beat this team at that time like 30-something to 1. It was 20-something. It was a blood bash, and the team couldn't catch a fly ball. It was just a smaller high school. And I felt so embarrassed. Like I felt embarrassed blowing out that team because I was like, man, this ain't no competition. I don't even think I had any hits that game. I went 0 for 1. They walked me 2 or 3 times. And it was just, you know, like my guys on my team who were scrubs, you know, my teammates, I ain't gonna talk bad about them, but they were the ones that were getting all the hits and stuff, right? And it was one of those games to make people feel good. But he sat down at my house that day and he just looked at me and was like, this is the type of ball you playing? And I was like, nah, I promise you. It's just one of those times that it just worked out that way. But on a whole, and the stigma is that on a grand scheme of things, right, the amount of ball that's being played up north is not as good as it is down south or out west. Okay, so you know they may look at where in the south and the west, they may in any given 5-day period when they watching games, right, you're gonna see 3 to 4 pitchers that are pretty decent with good velocity that can throw. You know what I'm saying? But then you go up there north, you may only see one kid out of the 5 days that is a decent pitcher with good velocity. Okay, so if you're a great player, right, and that's what I fought that, right? I at the time I considered myself really, really good. I didn't know how good I was because I knew I was good in this area, but I was, you fight that stigma as if you're, not playing high level competition. And they hold that against you. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you know, because everything with a scouting is a crapshoot. You don't know. You're just projecting, you know, what this kid is going to be. So they seeing me face kids that throwing 70-some miles an hour in high school and, you know, not really a good breaking ball. And I'm out here murdering pitches here and there. They're wondering, like, okay, what is this kid going to do with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, right? But that's when you got to be a scout, and a swing is a swing, right? Because I could look at a kid's swing and just say, like, listen, that swing will translate if his kid's throwing 65 miles an hour or 95 miles an hour, okay? A swing is a swing, right? But they you know, and I'm not saying, you know, these scouts know that too, right? You know, but it's one of the issues is that they are holding that against you, like, you know, when it comes to picking a kid from this part of the country to this part of the country, and they may be like, well, listen, he's not playing the competition, because, you know, good competition consistently. He's only facing kids that topping out at 82, where this kid down south is facing kids topping out at 92, okay? And they hold that against it, rightfully so, right? All right, so those are some of the issues that you got when it comes to playing up north, the weather, obviously, and the totality of the kids, you know what I'm saying, that they're playing against. The level may not be there. But I used to, even when I was in high school, I used to really see this, and I used to tell myself, I said, listen, you know, I know that you take the top kid from New York and a top kid from California, right, and it'll be equal, all right? I'm like, in my mind, I was like, listen, I feel like I'm just as good as the top kid from Florida, the top kid from California. I want to play them and just see how great they are, because, you know, when you up north, you see that's all you see, Florida, Georgia, and Texas and California. You see all the Arizona. You see all these kids, right? And you just see them in magazines and on, you know, back then I can't say online, but now it's online and stuff. And you wonder, like, man, how good are they? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we don't get no love up here, up north, right? But then, you know, when you get around them, you see, like, oh, they all right, they good, you know what I'm saying? But what makes that whole area good is that if you take every, you know, 10 kids, right? So in New York, you may get the top 2 or 3 kids may be studs, and it falls off dramatically. Where you may go out in California, maybe, you know, the top 10 kids, you know, 7 out of 10 are studs. You know what I'm saying? Florida, the same thing, right? Texas, the same thing. So it may be the top two kids in New York can definitely come down to Texas and New York and California and play. But those kids on the West Coast, and it's just that lineup, or those amount of kids are very talented. The amount of kids are talented, where the top half is top heavy in those northern states. Okay, so that's the issue that you have. Okay, but on the flip side, okay, when it comes to the scouts, and I've had this happen to me, I've had scouts tell me this, and so, you know, when I started getting back into baseball, I was down here in the South, and I used to see these kids pumping 88, 90, you know what I'm saying? They signed at D1 schools, but I'm like, where the pro scouts at? You know, I'm looking at it from my boy who got drafted 3rd round by the Braves, and he was pumping 88 to 90 up in New York, and I'm seeing these kids down in Memphis, the Memphis area, and they pumping 88 to 90 with sink and, you know, decent bodies, not necessarily the same size as my boy, but, you know, good size. And I'm like, where are all the scouts? Why are they not here watching this kid pump 88 to 90? And I'm like, I'm trying to figure this out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I understand he got a D1 scholarship, which is great, cool. That's a given. But I'm like, this dude need to be drafted, because I'm going on what I know. I'm going on my teammate in high school who was throwing the same type of speed with a curveball and everything. And these kids over here have very similar stuff, okay? But I understand it may not be 3rd round or top 5 rounds, but I'm like, these kids are definitely draft eligible. I mean, you know, draftable kids, right? And I'm wondering where these scouts are, okay? But then I end up talking to a couple of high school coaches and scout friends of mine who talked to me about the Southern kid. And they were just like, so this is some of the disadvantages that they believe. And they said, listen, the Southern kids is a lot different. You get to see more of what they are because they playing more. Okay, they're playing more baseball, so you kind of see what they are going to be quicker, meaning their ceiling is pretty much, they already reached their ceiling. Okay, so the projection part is like their issue is like, does he have any more in the tank? That kid that's throwing 8 to 90, because they're in warm weather and they're throwing a lot, and you know, so the scouts are wondering, like, is there anything more that this kid got in the tank? You know what I'm saying? Because down south, they're training more. They're playing fall baseball. Some of these areas out west, California and Arizona and Florida, they can play all year round. You know, Texas, right? So the scouts have to make up their mind and evaluate these kids and say, can this kid project and can I get more out of this kid? Or is this ceiling already reached? All right. That's the issue that goes on in the South. Same thing when it comes to position players, right? This kid is hitting bombs all over and he's running and, you know, his arm is pretty good and all of that. We know that he'll get smarter just playing all the time, but, you know, you get what you get, right? They looking at it and saying like, man, this kid is playing 70 games a year. You know what I'm saying? 70, 80 games compared to up north where these kids are playing only 45, 50 games a year. You see what I'm saying? So this kid has been playing on average 30 plus games a year since 8 years old, right? So he's having, you know, double the amount of games played than the kid up north. So obviously their IQ is going to be better, the way they're playing and their skills and all that's going to be a little bit more because they've been playing. All right. So, but the problem when it comes to projecting that is like these kids already reached their ceiling. So those are some of the issues that goes along with having with being a kid from the South. Okay, and it's funny, like I was having this conversation earlier. We were just talking about up north, but I was bringing, and I was thinking like, and I'm gonna talk on my, you know, my message today is talk about the disadvantages of, you know, not only being from the north and lack of competition and all that, but it is also stigma and you know, disadvantages that these scouts. I'm not just talking about in person. I'm talking about what scouts, how they feel about certain players. You know what I'm saying, from the South. All right, they feel like they have reached their ceiling faster. Okay, and they have to project and see how, you know, how much higher they can go. All right, because that's all scouting is it's just a crapshoot. You know what I'm saying? You're just hoping. All right, you're just taking a high level, experienced, educated guess on a kid. All right, it don't matter football, basketball, or baseball. Okay, because I know I could sit here and ask every parent on here. All right, especially that's been in high school and you know they seeing guys getting D1 scholarship and especially if they're getting drafted, you be like, how are they getting drafted? I remember my kid struck him out, or did my kid hit a home run off of this kid? And all they doing is projecting their tools. That's all they're doing. All right. If the kid is running the 6'5", they project them that, hey, if he can go and get in a strong program within the organization, he may get down to a 6'3". Or this kid has plus power and he's hitting 400-foot shots, okay? Now we just have to correct his stroke a little bit more when it's proper teaching and all of that. And those 400-foot shots will turn into 450 eventually. Once he becomes a man in programs and weight programs and playing professionally and all of that, they're projecting what he can do. All right, his arm he pumps 88 now. But they feel like with a good program and throwing program and good teaching, and now that 88 is going to be 93, 94, okay? And he's going to develop that third pitch, okay? He has a decent curveball. That's going to get better, and they're going to teach him a change up or something like that. I mean, that's all scouting is. It's just an educated guess. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's a crapshoot, okay? I tell you guys all the time, and I'm talking about draft prospects and all that type of stuff, but again, that's why you only 4% of the people. I'm not saying 4% of the first round. I said 4% of all the people that get drafted from round 1 to 40, whatever they have nowadays, right? 4% of them step on a major league field. That is a major accomplishment getting drafted, but 4% of these guys that get drafted make it to the major leagues. Do you understand? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that, right? So all these scouting and the money department and the amateur division and these scouting, you know, departments and the different levels and, you know, the hundreds of, you know, each, I think my boy Kelsey Mucker from the A's told me, I think every organization has at least 30 some scouts, you know what I'm saying, out there. You know, I could be wrong. I asked my boy Karana comes on tomorrow, right? But I'll say every major league team has about 30 scouts, okay? On the amateur side. That's what I'm trying to say, on the amateur side, okay? I could be wrong. But just on the amateur side, and you guys understand the difference between a pro scout and an amateur scout. All right, I just give a real quick, brief overview. Amateur side deals with college and high school. They deal with the draft. Okay, that's an amateur scout. That's not like meaning like they're amateur. They just new to the game. No, they deal with the amateur baseball. Okay, and you got pro scouts. All right, those are the pro scouts that scout other teams in the pros and scout other professional baseball players. You have scouts that strictly go around the minor league teams and they get issued 4 or 5 minor league teams. 4 or 5 organizations. All right, maybe the Rockies, the Dodgers, the Brewers, the Braves, and the Indians. Okay, those are the 5 teams that they have. Okay, and it's their objective to scout everybody from the rookie ball, the kids just drafted, all the way through to AAA or even to the professional ranks. Okay, the major leaguers. Okay, and they got to have an evaluation on each kid. Okay, each player. I said they're not kids no more; they're players. Okay, so those are the pro scouts. Okay. So the evaluations and all of that, and like I said, it never stops. Okay, that's what trades I had. A trade was just, I looked on it this morning. The evaluation never stops. Okay, so I tell parents all the time, they try to avoid competition. They want their kid to play, and some of these parents are scared of tryouts and stuff. Right? I get it all the time. I get phone calls that I feel like these parents are scared to try out. You know what I'm saying? And they just want to make a team and all. There are constant evaluations. It's starting now at 7, 8 years old when you're trying out for travel ball teams. Get used to it. It's going to happen. You're getting evaluated. You're getting, you charted and documented, and your resume is being built. You got an amateur resume, and then it doesn't stop if you're blessed to play professionally. Okay. So anyway, I'm going off, but you guys hear what I'm saying. Okay. The different levels of scouts. There are 30-some scouts on the amateur side. All right. They're out there scouting and all of that, and 4% of these people that get drafted are all these decision makers, these scouts that some are 1 year in it, some are 30+ years at this, and they're getting it right as a whole 4% of the time. Think of what I'm telling you, okay? All these scouts that's coming out here and evaluating these players and drafting them, these are draft kids, okay? First rounders all the way through whatever. And as a totality of when it comes to scouting, and all the scouts from each particular team, all right. If you think 30 teams and 30 scouts, all right. So 900 scouts out there are getting it right 4% of the time. I want you guys to think about that, man. All right. So when you seeing Joe Blow down the street and he's supposed to be a can't miss prospect and he's so good and all that type of stuff, yeah, he's good. Okay. He is no different. Now, first round pick, and they're going to get every opportunity because a lot of money is invested to them. All right. But I want to say, I haven't looked at that stat lately neither, but I think back when I played, I think it was like somewhere a 20% chance that first rounders make it to the major leagues. I know it's still well under 50%. Okay. So just because you're a first round pick don't mean you walking in the door. They're going to do everything possible to make, you to make the big leagues. But again, even my draft, I want to say maybe 30-40% of my first round, my year, they made it. Some are great. You know what I'm saying? Some later on in the picks, 5th, 6th rounds end up being great players. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the first rounders. Okay. So just because you're in first round don't mean that you make it. All right. I'm not saying that to scare nobody. I'm just letting you keep it in 100 with you guys and letting you know. Okay. So, so not only are they having these issues with you being from the north to south and all that type of stuff, but when they do draft you, okay, you coming in with these stigmas, all right? They coming in, he's raw, he's from the north, he ain't played enough and all of that. But you got to fight through all of that, okay? You got to fight through that, okay? And I mean, it's just a battle. So, like, that's what I'm saying. On the younger youth level, yes, do you want to have play, you want to participate and all that type of stuff. But, as a certain age, man, 13, 14 years old and up, man, be ready for competition, man. You got to be ready for competition, meaning like, it ain't just because you pay, you play. Nah, it's you compete on the field, okay? You compete on the field and you play, all right? Because you're going to have to do it in high school, okay? And you definitely going to have to do it in college and the pros, okay? So, and that's just if you just want to make it to the big leagues. And the percentages go way down to successful big leaguers, okay? All right. So, yeah, I was part of the 4%, but I wasn't the 4% that had, I played many years in the league, but I didn't have this success that I wanted. Okay, that I felt like I was capable of having. Okay, so I mean, I'm just preparing you guys. I hope you guys hear my message, and I hope I ain't scaring nobody. I'm just educating you, one, and also motivating you too. All right, to let you know what's in store. Okay, all right. So if you're from the South and all of that, do I mean every scout thinks this way and every organization? No, but as a whole, just like if you're from the North, do every scout think that you guys play weak competition and that you guys are extremely raw? No, all right, because I could take some kid from New York that has a high IQ. They may not play that many games and all of that, but he could come down south and outplay a kid from the South. Okay, and do it. Just like vice versa, a kid from the South may go up north and just be a star. But it's just one of those things, man. All right, so that's my message today. Just little information, some information out there just to let you know that high school prospects from different areas have different issues and different problems. Okay, so right now these kids are getting evaluated and drafting, and I look at it like right? You know what I'm saying? They gonna, you got everything right, but they're gonna look for all the little things that you got negative credit and you know, payment and you know, whatever. They just to get you to say no to the loan. You know what I'm saying? It's for you to not get the loan, right? That's the same thing when it comes to these kids, when these scouts. It's like you may have a scout that really loves you, but once if the higher that area scout loves you and he brings it up, the higher each level, the more they're gonna dissect your game. Okay, so when I'm telling you guys, I talked about this the other day as far as running hard and being a great teammate, being a gamer and all that type of stuff, right? Every little thing matters. Every little thing matters, okay? And the better you are, the more they dissect you. I want you to understand that. You know what I'm saying? The better you are, the more they dissect you. Meaning like, I'm trying to apply for that loan and they looking even digging deeper into like, oh, no, back 6 years ago, you were late on the bill and you know what I'm saying? 6 years ago, you know what I'm saying, around your town, we asked and stuff, and you got into a fight in the 6th grade with a kid and you got suspended 3 days. It happens. That's what these, and we have questions about your attitude. We have questions about your character. Okay? That's how this thing goes. Okay? So anyway, let me give my love shout outs. Hope you guys don't hear me, and I just, you know, keep this knowledge going, man. Bill, what up, baby? Corey, what up, baby? Lou, what up? Cali in the house, man. Mark, what's up, baby? Maryland in the house. D. Brooks, Alabama in the house. Do you monitor your high school prospect social media accounts? Me personally, Bobby, no, I do not. Okay? But if you are part of my, you know, recruiting services and all that type of stuff, I ask you to do social media and I teach you what to do. Me personally, I don't have the time to go through all 30, 40 players that, you know, on that level and all of that. All I do is educate you, give you, you know, tell you this. I want you to open up a social media account strictly for coaches and all of that and give you the education on what to do with that social media account, okay? But I don't, you know, I'm not going to sit here and monitor everything. I know that's, you know, but I'm one person and I, you know, no. All right, but I know there's plenty of high school coaches that have their assistant coaches and all of that look after the social media accounts. All I could do is educate you. And I had a conversation with one of my boys last night, and it wasn't about social media, but just about making the right choices. Okay, I was talking to his dad. He told me to talk to his son if he's making wrong choices. Okay, all I can do is just say, listen, this is what the opportunities that's here for you. I'm challenging you as not only an athlete, but as a man. You know, even though he's a young adult, you know what I'm saying, teenager. Like, yo, you got to get it together. Okay, that's all I can do. All right, I give him the knowledge, and he's going work with what he can. You know what I'm saying? I can't out-parent his parents. That's not my job. I'm not his dad. But all I can do is to say, listen, this is what's in store for you. This is what you got. If you F up, this is what's going on here. Okay? That's it. All right? And I gave it to him, Blaine. I obviously, I'm giving you, you know, the short version, but that's it. So same thing with the social media, Bobby. It's a great question, man. But all I can do is say, listen, I do want you on social media. All right? Some of these coaches in baseball and all that, no, stay away from. No, I want you on social media. All right. But I want you on it for the right reasons, the right way. All right. I want you to open up a social media account, Instagram or Facebook, strictly for baseball. Okay. You are going to put your highlights on there. You're going to talk positive. You're going to put your best light on there. You ain't going to have you and John Smith over there posted up. You know what I'm saying? You know, John Blow, 2000 Playboy, you know what I'm saying? Posted up with peace signs and y'all at a party. No, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's real strategic. Okay. That's part of the recruiting service. That's what I talk about on there, okay? So good question, Bobby, man. No, I don't do that, man. Sadiq, what up, baby? ATL in the house, man. Ramon, what's up, baby? Connecticut in the house, man. How is scouting changing with the times? That's a good question, Corey. All right, so certain things never, you know, if you could run, throw, hit, and all of that, you know, is a plus, right? That's universal. Tools are tools, right? You got to have the tools, okay? But the biggest turnaround I've seen in the last 10 plus years to now is signability. All right. So they have rules now. If you don't sign a kid by, I want to say middle of July to August, I think middle of July or something, right? In the previous years and all of that, you get that pick back. And, you know, here you lose the pick, okay? So that is one issue that is the drastic change from back in my day, okay, is that if you pick somebody, if you draft that person, they already have in their mind that they're going to sign you, okay, especially the higher round picks, okay? So if you kind of dabbling around and feeling like you have this X amount of number and they don't believe you to have that number, they're not going to pick you. Where in the day they could be like, oh, this kid is asking for $1 million, okay, but I think we could get him at 700,000. And then you pick the kid, and the kid is steady, fast. Like I just want my $1 million, okay, and I don't care if I don't, I go back to college or I go to college or whatever, right? And you lose that pick. Nowadays, no, you get penalized for that stuff. So the main issue that goes on right now is signability. All right. If we draft this kid, we are definitely going to sign, especially I'm talking about high round picks. Okay. So that's one of the changes that I see. Okay. You would think it'd be the same back in the day. No, they would take long shots. All right. I mean, hell, like Michael Vick and if you guys remember West Virginia quarterback Patrick White and Ricky Williams, Heisman Trophy, guys who ain't played baseball since 8th grade or 9th grade are getting drafted, all right, because they had tools and they played back in the day. Okay. So these guys are just getting drafted, getting thrown, 30th round picks and just say, hey, listen, when think about signing or playing with us in the summer and taking crap, like that stuff may go on still, but again, everything is thought out a little bit further now. Okay, can we sign this guy? If we draft this guy, can we sign him? Okay, that's the biggest thing I see. Eric, what's up, baby? David, what's going on, baby? Man, my work schedule has been crazy. I'm glad I made it. Good to see you, Sadiq, man. Lance, what's up, baby? Same way here in Maryland. First day outside, a day later, first high school game. Yeah, man. I've been there, Mark. I've been there, big dog. I know that issue, man. All right? Because these boys down here, I promise you, what is it, April already? They've been rocking and rolling since first week in March. They're a month into the season. They playing 4 or 5 days a week down here. All right? Richie, what up, baby? Greeny, what's up, baby? What's up, Nick? Glad to see you on. You ain't got no game tonight? You probably got a game tonight. Good to see you. Boy, Boston Red Sox minor league pitching coach. Bubba, what's up, baby? How my boy TJ doing? I hope he's doing good, man. Tell myself what's up. Red Queens, New York in the house. What's up? Eusebio, what's up? Florida in the house, baby. So what do you suggest all the players do to come back to Stibble problems you highlight? How does a kid get to the South to be seen and add games to the schedule? Well, it's different. I mean, now they have so many showcases and, you basically train your heart out, right? You know what I'm saying? And play high-level showcase where you're traveling down South and showing out. That's it. That's all you can really do, okay? And just hope and trust that these scouts see what they need to see and project well. That's all you can hope for, okay? So, up north, everybody want to come down South. I was there, right? I wanted to come down South and play all the time and play, that was my dream and my goal. I was a Florida State guy, right? I wanted to go to Florida State and play, all right? It didn't happen, but I got drafted and all of that. And so, you know what I'm saying? It happens. I guarantee you right now in the top 30, you know what I'm saying, 2 picks in the first round, there always going to be some Northerners being picked, okay? Junior colleges, and also high school. But you just have to be a straight-out stud, okay? Jay Meyer, what's up, baby? Wisconsin in the house. Erica, what's up, baby? Alicia, what up? Charlene, what up? Jim, AZ, Arizona in the house. What's up, Jim? Good to see you on, brother. Chipper, what's going on? Nashville in the house. Great topic today, Coach D. The information, I appreciate it. Chipper. Good to see you. Can't wait till the summer. Chuck, what's going on, baby? Detroit in the house, baby. D. Brooks, what up? Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. What's up, Coach D? You Uber in the house, Dallas. What up, Sergio? What's going on, baby? So what I say, South Florida now, or I got to say Georgia, man? Erica, what you said. You're right, Erica. All right. So my boy Shane, I said, what up? Nothing is guaranteed. You got to get to work and hustle. No doubt. I mean, none of this is guaranteed. The scouting reports are that in depth. Any character issues are included. I mean, Nick is a professional pitching coach for the Boston Red Sox, and he deals with that on a regular. He's come on my show in the past, and he basically is telling you straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like any type of issues you had. That's why I try to tell these kids, man. It's a conversation I had yesterday with one of my guys. 16-year-old kid, and he did something wrong. His dad reached out to me because he was, questioning his kid's judgment. And we all been there. I did, Lord knows, I mean, leading almost up to the draft, I was doing some dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I look back, I'm like, man, so many things could have happened differently. You know what I'm saying? But Lord, was with me, right? And I got, drafted and into it, right? But, I mean, my mother would say, you have to be a monk, man. You know what I'm saying? And my mother would say, I'd be like, come on, mom. But I say this all the time, like, yo, you have to do things right now, all right, to get the things that nobody, you know, all these people are going to wish and hope for. And they be like, oh, man, when your kid signs that letter of intent or gets drafted and out of high school or college, and everybody's going to be happy for him and all that type of stuff. And parents are going to be like, oh, man, I wish my kid could do that and all that type of stuff, right? But they don't understand in the background, right, that, you know, that your kid was over there in the cages extra. He was there up early in the morning. He was working hard in the later cages where the other parents' kids were vacationing, all right? But your kid was out there grinding away, running sprints, doing what we got to do with school, all right? You know what I'm saying? You know, you guys are hustling to practice here and lessons there and traveling here, where the normal parent, you know what I'm saying? I say the normal parent will you know, go one day this way, here, there, and go on the vacations and you know, have all the family life and plans and all that type of stuff, and wonder why their kid, you know what I'm saying, stayed the same and didn't work extra hard, okay? I'm just saying. It's a sacrifice. That's all I'm meaning, okay? You Savior, hey, D, what do you think of the U.S. Elite Baseball Camp workout, former pro players instruction, and pro scout evaluations? Go. If you got to evaluate, go. Anytime, any type of those USAs, and some of them I think are money makers, no doubt about it. But if you can afford it and they want you, and you know, go, you know, from the perfect games to the PBRs and any type of exposure that you can get is all good, okay? If they're inviting you, all right? Just understand that some of these, when you get in high school, though, and you start getting these showcases with all these colleges and stuff is reaching out to you, right? And they telling you all these schools and all of that. Just make sure that, again, that those schools are really going to be there, and that, you know, it's worth your trip, especially if you're traveling long, because it sucks when they say, oh, they're going to have over 20 scouts and college recruiters and whatever, and you get there and it's 4 or 5. Okay, they lied. They took your money. You know what I'm saying? You got to be questioned. You know, that's why I say I'd rather go to the if I'm going, and Alabama is one of my schools that I really like, I'm going to University of Alabama for their camp, all right? If they got 1 or 2 other schools locally in there, which they normally do, that's an added bonus, okay? But, you know, I'm just saying, be leery of these multiple colleges, showcases, and, you know, hey, you know, University of John Smith, you know, whatever is going to be there with 18 other schools and all of that, and you show up and nobody's there. 1 or 2 coaches there, and you got God for your money, okay? Josh, what up, baby? What's going on? Deanne, what's up? Manny, Texas in the house. What's up? Can players get into showcase events as individuals, or does a player require to go on a team? How do you find a team? How do you find a high-level team tryout session? That's a good question, okay? So, you know, behind the scenes myself, right, I've talked to some of the people that I feel like I can semi-trust that they'll bring me and show me certain players, and I've looked at kids all the way from 13 years old all the way up to 16, all right? You know what I'm saying? Through talking. Has it happened yet? You know what I'm saying? No, but, well, yes and no through this, all right? So, you know, through my lives, they're a little bit more local. They're further out than my little reach, but they are still in the South area. I mean, put it like that I've met right on here, all right? I'm still looking up north, and, you know, I had to I was talking to Keish yesterday from Texas. You know what I'm saying? I won't put you out there because I know you with the organization now, but I talked to her. I was like, listen, you know, she talked about coming up in the summer and all of that, and working with me a little bit. And I'm like, hey, the kid can play. You know, I mean, he may not be able to make every tournament, but listen, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So that's how this thing goes, man. All right. So if your kid can play, listen, you know, we going to certain tournaments, and you feel like, you know, I need a little help or something like that. Hey, right? It's part of the perks. And when you out here grinding every day, doing these lives and adding value, right? You know what I'm saying? You meet different parents and coaches from around the country here and there, right? So why not, right? Why not use it? D, hit me up when you can. Need to pick your brain about something. I got you, Chuck. Hope your son is doing well, man. J Mac, what's up, baby? Need to get you on here, man. Need to get you on here. Former big league pitcher, all right? Former African American big league pitcher, which is a rarity, right? I need to get him on here, all right? So, anyway, I'll definitely want to. I'm gonna get out of here, man. That's my topic for today. You know, just talk about different areas and different issues that the West Coast, down south have, and then up north, Midwest, you know, with the weather, you know, cold weather states have, okay? Just the stigmas and all of that. So tomorrow I have my boy Karan Walker coming on, Chicago Cub Scout, and he runs a travel ball organization too. We're going to dig a little deeper at different topics from type of scouting to, you know, We'll hit a little bit about, you know, saying race and travel ball and scouting, and we just dig a little deeper, man. It's gonna have a little, you know, great conversation and get into it, right? And reach out to my boy. He's gonna come on tomorrow. So I appreciate you guys here. I appreciate you guys listening in. Love you guys, man. Thank you again for the support. Thank you for what's going on. If you want that big league training, you go get that bigleagueshortcut.com. You want that big league training, all right? So you have these opportunities to get drafted, and at least you have the great foundation with these professional hitting coaches and friends of mine that they ain't got to do too much anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? They're like, man, where you been taught? Who you been taught by? And you say it, and you be like, oh, okay, all right, cool. You know, you've been taught by somebody that's been there and done that, all right? It's happening already, trust me, okay? So anyway, let me Coach D, I want some Coach D Brown gear, that DB Elite gear. Is that available on the website? All right. Listen, I'm working on this. I promise you I'm working on it. All I have right now is the hats in stock. All right. Let me reach over here. Okay. Let me reach. Excuse me. All right. Just letting you know. I got the hats here all day. I got to get the gear. I promise you I'm going to have this. Y'all been asking, and you don't know behind the scenes where I got coming, and I'll be trying to tell people that, like, yo, my people is wanting. So, Mark, I got you, man. I promise you, when I do it, when I get it right, your boy needs to get it right. All right, I had the links and all of that, but I'm having issues with fulfillment issues, okay? So I don't want to just have something for in the past. I've been, you know, selling, you know, apparel, and it's just taking too long. And I know if I promote it on here, you guys all over the country, I want to make sure my fulfillment is right. I don't want you guys like, yo, D, where's this, whatever. So I've gotten, you know, Bat Soul. Shout out to my girl Sega over here who purchased it. My boy out in Texas, my boy Joe D son it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got big leaguers, you know what I'm saying? Big league coaches over there, like, yo, D, I'm gonna purchase it back from you. Yo, you got the hookup, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got the bats, all right? If you want Rawlings bats, I got deals on that. I got, you know, I'll have the gear for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get my boy from Rawlings to come over here for whatever reason. He's more than welcome to get apparel out to you guys and bats and all of that. But I want him to get on here himself. I don't know what's going on. So, Poke, what's up, baby? But I got you, Mark. Just please be patient with me. I know, brother. I'm getting that. I hate it that I gotta wait. Sergio, Coach D, if you throw 100 miles an hour and hit the ball a ton, you think they will put you in the draft? And I'm just asking. Sergio, let's talk a little bit, Sergio. All right. Did you just ask what I just asked? Did you just ask what you just asked? All right. That's like saying, hey, D, all right. If I run a 4.140, all right, and do you think I'll get to the NFL? Yes. All right. Sergio, don't be asking me no question. We're talking about some 100 miles an hour. Now, every question ain't a crazy question, but that's a crazy. Come on now. All right. If somebody throwing 100 miles an hour, come on now. And hitting the ton. Hey, if he's doing that, if he is 17 years old or younger and he's doing that, please reach out to me. Okay? Please. Okay? LeBar, what's up, baby? Nice job. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Paul, what up, man? Where can I get some of that gear? Hey, I'm gonna get it, sir. I promise you, man. I need a shirt. The dopeness needs to be shared here across Maryland. I need the hat. I mean, you need that. I got you, man. Oh, appreciate it. Gosh, I'm like, oh, you don't understand how frustrating this is. You know what I'm saying? These people don't understand, man. I mean, I got you, Mark. Thank you, man, for being patient. All right, you too, Sergio. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Jerry, what up? Okay, what's up? All right, so that's my time. I appreciate y'all, man. I will be on tomorrow, 3 o'clock. I got the guest. I know I ain't had a guest in a while, right? I think the last time I had a guest was my boy Richie B. You know what I'm saying? St. Peter's, whatever. So I got a scout coming on, you know what I'm saying? Former professional baseball player, and he runs a travel ball organization in the Chi-Town area. Shout out to my people up in Chi-Town. We'll be here tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central, giving you just some good knowledge and just vibing. All right, talking. That's all I do. Bring on friends over here, and we just communicate and talk back and forth as if we have on the phone, but we're doing it in front of you guys, and you guys get the witnesses and ask questions on your own. So be ready for some questions tomorrow, as I have a professional Chicago Cubs scout coming on who also runs the travel ball program down in Chicago area. All right, so wealth of knowledge, man. Okay, I'm bringing it on. Be here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Don't miss out. Love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.